Hey, I hope you can hear me. It is butt crack o'clock on some day in the void. What is this? Tuesday, January 25th, 2022 at 1:54 a.m. It is 7 degrees outside and you can see the stars. This is a private streamed video, and yet it says there's one person in the chat room and there they disappear, but there isn't even a chat room. Do you guys not realize I see you peeping? My God. Ugh. I've been watching a discovery of witches on Amazon, and it's pretty good. I was watching some episodes in season 1, and I had myself a bowl of fruity pebbles for the first time in a long time, and I actually drank some real organic vitamin D milk. I feel really good. I don't know why people talk so much doo-doo about drinking milk. If it doesn't resonate, like if it doesn't work with you, it doesn't work with you. If it does, it does. Look at the lighting in here. I don't have any lights on other than these. Look at how pretty it looks. It's so peaceful. It's so fucking peaceful in here right now. I love the nighttime. So, what's the intention with this video? To bring you some peace and serenity in a way. I'm not going to be pulling any cards or doing any kind of channeling stuff. I'm just going to talk to you guys the way I would talk to you if you were sitting in front of me, which I usually do most of the time until Source kicks in and takes over, which is all the time. Dang it. What was I going to say though? I want you guys to to do something that I don't usually do myself. So this is for both of us. Just take a moment and realize how far you've come. Really. I don't want to get into my personal story and details because we just don't have the time. But watching a few episodes of that show really had me thinking about magic, thinking about people I've been with in relationships, how I've been in relationships, and how I could have been. And then kind of fast forwarding from the past, nostalgia, reminiscing thing to the present moment. It felt like a massive flashback hit me all at once. And I didn't get emotional or anything like that. It was more like, oh, holy shit, I'm a badass. And then I was like, well, what the fuck? What the fuck? And then I kept thinking to myself and like going through my emotions and feeling the energy around me and thinking, wait a minute. This does not make sense. Not only does it not make sense to be bound or oppressed by any other source or energy, or even affected by other people's ill intent or judgment, but it also doesn't make sense why people would try to steal or copy or lie about things. And it also didn't make sense why the people I was in relationships with said certain things during those relationships that have stuck with me over 20 years. And they weren't insults or anything, like just completely out of nowhere random comments. And some of those things, when we remember them, there's a reason for it, right? So I've been sitting here thinking and just kind of daydreaming or night dreaming, I guess. And I realized something. I've been hearing the phrase, she's a runner, she's a track star. I have no idea what song it's from. The only time I've heard it is on another card reading channel from someone who is gifted by God. I'm not going to refer you to her, but she's also the real deal. And if you ever find her, you'll know she's amazing. But she hasn't been anybody I've ever mentioned on this channel, positively or negatively. And that phrase was running through my head, and I thought, what am I running from? Because my sister said this to me a while ago too. Oh, you're done running? And I thought, wait a minute, what the fuck am I running from? I run towards every fucking problem. Sometimes I run towards the problem twice. I run towards rock bottom and I sit there and I analyze the rocks at rock bottom. Like, I don't run from shit. And earlier today, after watching some of those episodes, maybe like 2 hours ago, earlier today, I mean, after midnight. So, yeah, within the recent 2 hours, there was a meme on Facebook about something like it's finally time to be the person you avoid being, but you dream about being. And it clicked in my head. That's what I've been running from. The that version of me. I have been avoiding being the full embodiment of myself more than I have avoided anything else in my life. I have avoided adorning my body with symbols and runes and tattoos and the accessories fit for me. I've avoided wearing proper clothing and I've avoided embodying myself. Multiple reasons why, but the core of it is I've avoided being my real self. I mean, there's been a whole master plan to all of it by God, but me consciously, day to day, I have made a subconscious choice, unknowingly, obviously, to not be my real self. And for a while, I've been wondering, why people are intimidated by me, why people think I'm so passionate and all this stuff. And I'm like, passionate with the Christ? Like, I'm speaking with Christ, but why wouldn't I be passionate? You think he's going to sit there pouring you tea and like baking you cookies? No, he's going to like come down with a sword and cut shit up and like eliminate lies and all that stuff, right? He even says it in the books. But me, as a person, I've been playing really small. I've avoided having my natural hair color. I've avoided having my earthly hair color. I've avoided even having the right gender when I was born. I mean, all the contracts and stuff that we've been through, whether they're soul contracts or not all of them were made by God. It's like a spiritual DMV where you have to sign paperwork to get through shit. So I've been really thinking, what would happen if I actually behaved and embodied myself in my true self authentically more so than I have been. Instead of being watered down and timid and shy and wearing so many layers of clothing and avoiding makeup and avoiding relationships with men or women, avoiding putting myself out there for like financial gain. I've avoided so much. And then people have had the audacity to say, oh, we would give anything to have your life. Like, excuse me? Do you have any idea? Do you have any idea what you've said by doing that? Or what you've done by saying that? So I've been contemplating a lot And I've been hearing my voice in some of the previous videos I've done, and I can hear the real me crackling underneath the voice you hear. Now, as most of, or some of you know, I lost my voice in 2015 due to a narcissistically abusive relationship on both parts, mine and his. And I was in so much pain one day during the afternoon. It was horrible what I was going through emotionally, mentally, psychically, and all the ritualistic abuse I was going through that nobody was believing me in. So I sat there in the living room next to the fireplace, turned on my music, and I sang every fucking song that came on the top of my lungs until sound couldn't come out of me. My partner didn't. He tried to stop me, but you can't stop me. So, I mean, at least he tried. Like that song from Lana Del Rey. Well, shit, at least he tried. I couldn't speak properly for about a month afterwards, and since then, since 2015, 2016, I've had this crackle in my voice, like lightning, and it reminded me of a past life that I have been ignoring, which we all know what past lives are, they're parallel incarnations, they're etc., etc. In that experience, without going too into detail, I was titled the Amazon Matriarchs. I don't know exactly if you know what that means. It was a title given to a two-spirit or dual gender priestess, so to speak, but not just a priestess, a landowner, a queen, a healer, a mother, a matriarch, but also an empress residing over an entire planet. The place I came from, we didn't have governments, we didn't have borders and states. The world was telepathic, people were telekinetic, we had the ability to fly and commune with nature, to translocate on the planet, and to weave the elements at will: earth, air, fire, water, and spirit, and then light and dark. There was also chaos and the void, and order, chaos, void, creation, earth, air, fire, water, spirit, and death. We all had those abilities. I have done so much to block that life out of me. And the more I've blocked it out, the more it's been like a dark phoenix being caged in my mind. And that phoenix is her, the aspect of her I've denied within me. And I think that's what people see, regardless of how much I've tried to hide it. So I'm not saying, like, oh, I'm coming out and I'm going to do this and I'm going to have like leaves growing out of my hair and all this shit. Like, no, I'm not even attempting to be ruler or leader or wealthy or anything for anybody. But somehow it's probably going to happen anyway. Because the technology used to divert the timelines diverted that timeline from happening here on this earth back in 2013. It was supposed to happen on around November 2013. Yeah, a year after 2012. It didn't happen. Things went sideways. I don't know if you've noticed, we haven't been on the proper timeline since then. I've informed you over the spells that have been cast by dark magicians on multiple dates, and I've told you how they've affected me and my life and what they've done to me and the partner I was supposed to be with. So I'm putting this out there to the world, on your televisions, on your phones, and whatever else you're watching this on, wherever you're watching this. I know who I am. And just because I don't flaunt it doesn't mean that power isn't dormant in me. Just because I do not speak of what's happening on the earth does not mean that I do not have a hand in it. Just because I have a hand in it doesn't mean that this physical body and this conscious mind is aware of it. And just because this conscious mind and physical body is not aware of it does not mean that there are split personalities. It means that the power of my mind and my power of intent is so strong that I can indefinitely, for the most part, create mental blocks and barriers within myself like a labyrinth to divert that flow. Because energy cannot be destroyed. So I cannot destroy her within me. And I wouldn't even dare to dream to do so. So I'm letting her out. There are stages to alchemy. There are stages to transformation. There are stages to cooking and to baking. This is one of those stages. The acceptance. The revelation, in a way. I've sat on Egyptian thrones. I've helped build pyramids, and not in the way you think they were built. I've been around this planet before people had a word to call it Earth, before there were even people on it. And I've been playing small. And I'm really done with it. The more I'm noticing the problems of the world, the more I'm noticing that we're missing the matriarch. We're missing the goddess. There have been books written and Templars going on journeys and expeditions and quests. There have been kingdoms and queendoms and governments and worlds and species that have both worked to hide and worked to reveal and to find the goddess. Well, I'm right here. And don't you ever forget that you walk on my soil. That being said, if I sense the energy of those people around me again that have been stealing, lying, and causing the form of energy known as betrayal, rest assured, Hades will find you. If I sense your energy again on my channel, causing harm to my subscribers, to my families, to my children, to my ancestors or my descendants, the earth will swallow you where you stand. I am done playing with hurricanes and earthquakes. I am done playing with wildfires. I am done playing with tsunamis. I am done diverting asteroids. I am done creating shields and layers upon the earth to protect. I'm done. So from now on, I'm asking you not just as Celeste Roma, not just as Gaia, not just as Sophia, or Lucifer, or whatever the fuck else you want to call me. I'm telling you this as your friend. Do not engage in behavior that is a disrespect to the Holy Spirit that flows through your lungs and across this world. Do not do it, or that breath will be removed from you. This is not a threat. This is not a warning. This is not a sting of caution. This is not a sting of ego. This is one heart speaking to your heart. If you truly are a good person, it's time to start acting like it. If I have to be who I have to be and play the role of who I am, then so do you. I do not care if you think of yourself as an NPC or if this reality is a matrix or an illusion. It's real enough while you're here, isn't it? So treat it with respect or get off my soil. Some of you guys think species are going extinct. I'm simply upgrading them. Some of you think the world is falling apart and being destroyed. Keep on believing what you will. Those that know already know. And those that have used the magic of the earth for their own foul gain and to harm others, I urge you, repent. Fall to your knees before the God you believe in and ask for forgiveness for the stupidity you have committed among life. What else can I tell you? I will not be pretending to be anything else. I'm going to slowly and surely be accepting each stage of my transformation with grace, ease, and poise. And I'm going to be doing it while I'm having fun and enjoying every bit this human life has to offer. Because I'm here to live and to enjoy myself, whether I'm Gaia, God, or just a mortal human being. So if you're one of those people who have been doing shady things to anyone in the world, make things right before it's too late. Tell people you love them. Tell yourself you love yourself. Spend at least an hour a day doing something to where you treat your body like you treat someone you claim you love. And see how much it sickens you to be kind to yourself, or how much it pleases you to be kind to yourself instead of hurtful to others. Stop projecting onto other people, including me, to tell me that I'm projecting onto you. I know damn well what I'm doing, and I know damn well when I'm projecting, and you can rest assured it has not been on this channel. If I say something on this channel and it stings you, then that's something you need to remedy. It's a bug bite you didn't know you had. I pointed it out for you. Don't throw your venom on me. I made that venom. Don't throw it on me. I'm immune to it. The point of all this is that if you're going to be somebody over the age of 12, then it's time to start acting like you're above the age of 12. If you're going to act like a teenager, embrace it. If you're going to act like a belligerent something in your 20s, act like it and enjoy it. Live it up. If you're over 30, then it's time to stop making excuses. And if you're sending me emails telling me you're at death's door and you need my help, why don't you knock on that door and see what happens? Because I'm not getting you away from that door. You got yourself to that door, you get yourself away from that door. I'm not walking to death's door to get you away from it. That's not my job. What else? Yeah, I think things are going to change for the better. Most of you can tell that The convergence has already happened, and we're basically being reintegrated into a proper reality, kind of like being removed from one matrix and put into the other. And what we've been experiencing for the recent 4 years of this quarantine is that we're basically being cleaned of the filth of the human civilization we've endured by our own hands. Because in the higher realms, the fifth dimensional life experience upon this very earth, the way most three-dimensional beings are right now, is deemed as sick and contagious because they have a mind virus. A mind virus that has them believing they are separate from God, Source, and the earth. A mind virus that has humans killing humans. It's insanity. That's why the gates were closed. That's why we were in a quarantine zone on Earth. That's why I came down here to play host to all of you. When we were moved out of that construct, we were moved into another one, a temporary one, and we're going to be moved from it again, mark my words, and it will not be pleasant. Unless you elevate your frequency. When you are light, you flow. When you are dark, you are dense. Dense things do not flow, they sink. So I urge you with kindness, do your fucking shadow work. Your shadow belongs with you, Peter Pan. You cannot remove it. Take it with you. Love it, embrace it, hold it in the light. Make peace with your family members. I don't care how horrible they've been to you. Make peace. Make peace with your frenemies. Make peace with your enemies. Make peace with yourself. Look in the mirror, look into your eyes, and apologize to yourself for every negative thought you ever had towards yourself, and for how you've been a villain in other people's lives, and how others have been a villain in yours. Forgive them. Forgive yourself. And what that means is let go of the emotional state of seeking vengeance or revenge. That's what letting go means. That you're not seeking closure or repercussion. You leave it to God. Do not be an embarrassment to yourselves. When we open our full eyes and see that we've already been in the kingdom, when we see that we're already on quote unquote new earth, when we see that we're already in 5D, 6D, 7D, whatever, how embarrassed will you feel when you're still in your flesh and bones body and the only difference is you can see clearly now? How embarrassed will you be? So don't think I'm telling you this for any sort of personal gain. I'm telling you this because I see what's coming. And I am doing you a favor by telling you to make things right with your God. The time for pretending to be children is over. The time for pretending to be old, decrepit, dirty old men and women is over. The sun does not age you. The rotations of the earth do not decay you. Those were programs placed in you by man. Do what you can, where you stand, with what you have. I do not want to hear any excuses out of any of you. And I am done pretending to be at all in resonance with trash. Trash is to be composted. Claim your divinity. Claim your sovereignty. Claim your dignity. And I should not have to title these videos Channeling by Gaia or anything, because you should already know who's speaking to you. Because you can feel it. Can't you? So I ask you now, beloved, how will you walk into the kingdom of earth and heaven? With your head held high or your knees bent? I hope it's with your head held high and your heart open. I love you. I have always loved you. I have always forgiven you. But I will not ever again tolerate your disrespect to me and my bloodline. Ever again. If you steal from me, you will have nothing left within you to be able to steal from others. If you cause any more dark magic against me, rest assured your blood will boil inside your body before your dark magic ever reaches me. These are the laws of the universe. Reap what you sow. So why don't you sow some kindness, some love, some awakening? Why don't you sow some respect for those others in the world who are doing the work? Why don't you treat every single day with the spirit and magic of Christmas? Why wouldn't you treat each day with the love you share on that day you call Valentine's Day? Why wouldn't you be so fierce and independent every day as you are when you claim your independence for imaginary borders? Why would you not treat yourself every single day like it's the day of your birth when you woke up from a death that day? Cherish your life and live each moment with intent. You are sacred. How dare you disrespect that within yourselves? And this message is for those of you who are transgender, two spirits, the sacred ones. Never let any man tell you that it is an agenda that you are what you are. The agenda against transgender people is that there is a false agenda against them to make them seem like they are broken, when they are the healers and the leaders of the new age. People who are both empathic and narcissistic. People who are both male and female. People who are connected to the earth and the sky. People who connect with God and Goddess. Lily, don't you dare start biting those wires again. Transgender people are not broken. Gay and lesbian people are not broken. God has nothing but love for all, except for the traitors. Traitors have no place in God's heart. That's why there is a hell, a school to teach. So take pride in who you are. Those of you who are both man and woman. because you are how the species was before it was corrupted by artificial life forms and archonic interference and extraterrestrial interference through the genetic code of your systems. All life on Earth was hermaphroditic. That is why the leaders, the pharaohs, the queens, and the kings, the only time you were given the rule or the right of rulership was if you were from those bloodlines. The real original humans, original anthropos. So when people tell you, "Oh, you're a transgender," that's like a agenda from like the Illuminati. Oh my God! No, the agenda is that they're making transgenders look like a fool, which is what they've done with many other people and places and things. I'm gonna go because Lily is giving us a symphony of her beautiful eating noises. Just take a listen. Here's some ASMR for you, huh? I love that little beast. My little beastie. I love you guys. You already know that. And to all of you magic practitioners, the actual ones, the powerful witches, the powerful shamans and shamanesses, the warlocks, the priests and priestesses, it's time you start utilizing your magic to help the earth and the children, especially the children, because they are being raised by idiots for the most part. I do not care if you're offended by it or not. It is not an insult. Most people in this day and age, from the year 2000 and 1990 and upwards, they have had a distorted view of reality. Things were not done this way before. Children were not raised this way before, and morals and standards of normal life have been missed. So it's time you teach your children properly. And if you don't know how, ask the adequate people. You can come to me, but I'm not going to help raise your children. I'm going to help you find your heart center again so you know the right thing to do clearly. Okay? I'm not going to sit here and like tell you how to raise your kids, but I am going to sit here and tell you where your shadow needs healing. Your children and your grandchildren deserve better. So those of you who have the gift to wield the elements and the magic of the world, I'm asking you, utilize it to protect the children, their minds, their hearts, their souls, and their bodies. Ask the gods and goddesses that have come and gone. I don't care if you think you're in the matrix or not, those energies exist. Ask them for help. Magic is real. That's why they use it against you. So use it, but instead of against anyone, use it to illuminate and to bring light. And those of you that are doing dark magic on people and people in governments, you guys need to stop that shit. Because all that negative energy you're sending to government officials is not helping the governments. You're actually hurting civilization. The dark magicians, they're not just in secret societies. They're housewives. They're Karens. They're Bobs. So if you're going to use that magic and expect that magic to still be given to you to use it before we take it away from you. Okay? And yes, I did say we, because I'm not alone. I never was. And the time for me to play like I've been trapped or stuck, or that the earth is alone, or that Gaia doesn't have sisters or brothers or an entire armada and legion behind her, with her, or through God, is over. I've let you guys play long enough. Please take care of yourselves. And for fuck's sake, plant a tree.